actually had like FOMO from the last interview because it sounded like you guys were having so much fun.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to bring it for you.
It's
just, if you just let us go and talk crazy nonsense, you'll hear a lot of noise. But
that's all good.
Might not get the interview you want.
Yeah, maybe I should try for my boss and then we can have a laugh.
There you go.
But so it just premiered in London. I mean, I loved the movie. I thought it was fantastic. But I've seen so many good initial reactions online. How does that make you guys feel, like knowing that people are starting to really love it?
Are people really loving it?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. We are on embargo. Our own. Bro, I do not like to read anything.
I don't read anything.
Ever. So, but it's good.
It's good. I promise. I promise. I'm not lying to you.
Well, then that makes me feel good.
It's like, is it
pumped up?
Woohoo! I love as well. I guess it's kind of on the same thread, but I find it so funny that Alexei kind of measures success in his career whether he's on like a cereal box or not. It's kind of like it's the measure.
I mean, don't we all?
It's a metric.
So I was
that's the aim of the game, really.
Yeah.
He's sort of, I don't know if you noticed too on that series, but he's relegated really right toward the end. He's almost falling off the box. You guys are more front and center. He's really edging his way in. That's the real metric of not success.
Not success.
Yes.
But for you guys, like in your career, what would be a good measure of success for you?
Being on a cereal box.
Being on a cereal box.
I've made it if I'm on a cereal box.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting question, actually, because I've had moments where I felt like that, but for me, I don't know that there's any one thing that would make me feel like you win an Oscar or you whatever. It's like I feel like it's just I just gotta you show up every day.
For me, it's the bobbleheads. I'm sorry, but
really?
like to have the bobblehead. You know our characters when they're
you have it then.
I have it. I'm going to bed now.
You climbed Everest.
That was fun. I think
What
having
now?
like the bobblehead. I don't know. That's something about like
With the springy head.
I just think it's. I think that kind of like that's so fun. Like
not an Academy Award.
I don't know, maybe this says more about my own insecurity, my own failures in life. But like, there's been so many.
Yeah.
There's been so many moments where you're like, when I was younger, where you're like, this is it. Like,
you get the part.
Wow, this is gonna like I'm gonna pop,
and then nothing happens.
and then you're like, and the phone rings now, right? Like the phone starts ringing.
Yeah, and it doesn't ring.
It doesn't
when does it? Yeah.
And it's just
Does
like
it
no, you just like you just inched your way up on the ladder.
Yeah.
And then things that were supposed to be amazing and great, or sorry, that weren't supposed to be that great, ended up being the thing where you're like, holy shit, that went to Cannes and I got that actually worked, and everybody thought that movie was going to be terrible. So like I've had too many moments of like not knowing and not knowing anything. You talk to anybody that's super successful, sports athletes,
But what is success?
actors.
Success is happiness, I think, at the end of the day. Like, what makes you happy? But success. But I think in this career, like, there's no end. I think
There's no end.
Just there's no end.
There's no end.
That's
There's
exactly
no
it. But
end
any
to filling
things that
the
make you
void.
joy.
Alexi, we're all on the cereal box trying to get more real estate within the group.
Literally all people. That is all social media has turned into.
Exactly.
That is all it is. Instagram is everybody being like, look at me.
I loved the detail as well. I'm trying not to do any spoilers in these questions. You'll probably be able to tell, but I loved how Alexei ends up brushing his teeth with washing up liquid.
Oh God.
This is really not a spoiler.
That's brilliant.
But I'm kind of curious to know for you guys, because you're obviously in these suits and blah blah. Does any kind of unconventional grooming methods come about from being kind of in these like odd costumes?
They are, the funny thing about superheroes, which I feel like doesn't get enough credit, is the amount of people that need to get you into your suit. Like, as a superhero, you may be able to do incredible things, but you're going to need a team of like 3 people to actually buckle you up and get you ready to go.
I literally said, as I was getting my suit on, I was like, Ghost can't do this on her own.
Exactly.
And she doesn't wake up in the morning and go, right, there's my suit. I'm gonna real buckle up now. Like, it's like no. There needs like 3 people to put me in this thing.
Yeah.
And it's actually not as practical as you think it is, because it's like a rubber. It's heavy.
It's a tire.
It's a tire. I wore a tire. No, but it's funny. It's like I thought exactly that.
There is a thing
a lot of people.
Yeah, and there is a thing where you take off various pieces throughout the day. So I will say, like, the grooming technique or the cold, like, I do like a half super suit look, which is just like pants, shoulder
Waist up.
pads, and you got these big old suspenders. You're kind of like a fireman who's played a little hockey or something you know.
Half committed to the bit.
Half committed, but you're
like
cool.
that.
You don't really
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
That's sort of my vibe.
There's also a feeling of like when you get out the top half of the suit, you're like, okay, what are we dealing with today?
Yeah.
Right.
How's the odor? How is it going?
That's not
What,
right.
what are we dealing
I
with?
can imagine it was a
Sometimes it
particular
surprises you.
smell.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
actually fun.
I love that Walker is able to kind of like source food in the desert. I think it's a
That's
really
great
special
moment.
skill.
I think that is a great
Yeah,
moment.
I would be kind
Was
of
this in the script, or was that something you came
Jake and I talked.
Added it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
so
an
good.
amazing.
So smart.
Cactus berry.
Cactus berry.
We
It's a real
we
thing.
actually ate them, didn't we? In
We
Utah, we actually ate them.
But then Florence got like had an allergic reaction to the cactus berry.
Because she was like, I can't stop eating this thing. It's delicious. And then she had this.
She had like tongue swelled up and was
Tongue
like,
swelled up,
I
her
didn't
lips swelled
feed
up.
for
She
very
was
much
like-
longer.
She's like, I think I'm a bit allergic to this.
everyone at Marvel's panicking, like, not Florence. But I'd be so curious to know for you guys, like, how do you think you would fare in that environment, wilderness? Would you be good at, like, sourcing?
I think, I mean, I've done it. I lived on the road for 2 months during the pandemic, and my wife and I went to every national park and camped. We camped a lot. I grew up in Colorado in the wilderness, surrounding us, and all the hunting and fishing and stuff was a part of my family's life. So I think I'd do. I think I'd do okay.
You'd be good?
I do terrible.
Yeah.
No, not
As
for
long
me.
as
I
I'm within
glamp.
range of
I'll go glamping.
DoorDash. I'm good.
You could just come along in the limo and
Yeah, as long as that's
everyone
true.
would be fine.
That's what he does.
I really love the way Alexi's kind of not just the comic relief, he obviously has depth, but kind of isn't shy of a joke. Do you guys have a go-to joke or line that is kind of guaranteed to make everybody else crack up, like in between takes?
I'll tell you what, Wyatt and I did have something which I really loved. I don't know if it is a spoiler at all, but there's a character. There's a character in the movie who doesn't appear in the movie, and his name is Shane. He owns a tire shop.
Yes.
And anyway, it was like we would just talk about Shane, and we would talk about.
We were fan casting.
We would fan cast Shane.
How do
The
you imagine
sequel,
him?
all about Shane. He's on the side of the road. He's played by Mark Rylance. He's got a very complex relationship with tires and little soccer teams.
It's Mark Rylance's Shane.
Yeah, Mark Rylance. I mean, we got to pitch it to him.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
I got to finish the script.
First time he's gonna find out because I'm
He
sure he
turns
watches.
down a lot of stuff. He loves to watch
this
Instagram
will be the
videos and
one.
interviews with Wyatt Russell, though. We know that. So I'm sure he'll see this. Mark, if you're watching, we have a character we'd like to pitch you. His name's Shane of the Tire Shop.
And Mark, I want you to know, because I know you'll be honored by this.
For the Academy Award.
on my desk at home, there's a little nice box that David gave me at the end of the shoot with your photo placed just so that I can put a couple like pieces of jewelry, which I don't have.
That is so
And just to
special.
bring it around, I will say I'm really excited for you to interview Mark
Yeah.
when this movie comes out, and you say to him like, "What was the moment when you realized you'd made it?" And he could say like the Academy Award. He could go like, "No, when Wyatt Russell pitched me over Instagram." Shane's Tire
He
Shop.
has his own bobblehead.
Thunderbolts
Shane. Shane's
Amazing.
bobblehead.
Anyway,
We need to make
sorry.
this happen.
Sorry.
There you go.
I'm obsessed.
I told you we're
That's a
wild.
callback. That's a callback.
If a
Thank you
bobblehead
so
is where
much.
you need to be, and that's your Everest, we can get you one.
Yay. Thank you guys so much. That was so much fun. I'm glad I got to join in on the party that was this interview. It's amazing. Thank you so much. So nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well.
Because I loved the movie. It was brilliant. Yeah, and I loved your dynamic together. Like, so much fun. I loved, it was almost like the first scene where we kind of meet your character, Julia, and she's kind of correcting everyone on how to say your name properly, which I can kind of relate to, like Clodagh. It's not like in the UK, you know. How do you guys find that, like, in life?
Oh, well, we both have names that get butchered.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. People don't often know what my last name is. And sometimes they really confuse me. Like they'll say Mary Louise Parker.
You're like, no, there's a dash.
Not even close.
What do they do with your name?
Oh my God, I've gotten everything.
Yeah.
Viswanathan, whatever.
Viswanathan,
Just,
whatever.
they just give up towards the
I
end.
kind of like that.
No, it's kind of funny.
I like that.
Yeah.
Viswanathan,
It's quite,
whatever.
it's quite rude, but like, yeah. Like,
It's rude, but it's also endearing.
yeah. You're very forgiving.
Yes.
Mel's a great character. When I was looking up about it, I saw that, and correct me if I'm wrong, was it Io and Debris was like initially supposed to be in it? Tell me about kind of like then you taking on that role. Did you chat to her? I think that also I would love to see you guys in a movie together, just as a side note.
Yeah, no, she's like one of my dearest friends, and she couldn't do the movie. There was a lot of rescheduling stuff that was happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was like, hey girl, what do you think? And she was like, absolutely, you need to do it. You need to go hang out with Julia and do this incredible movie. So it was really nice to have her kind of blessing, and she knew about the movie. So it was really cool to talk to her about it. But yeah, I hope we do something together one day. Yeah.
That would be like a comedy duo of dreams, to be honest. So if we could all just please make that happen.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. You have a brilliant podcast, Julia, Wiser Than Me, which is amazing. You interview women who are older than you, kind of about what life experience and wisdom they've kind of acquired. I'd love to know, what advice would you give Geraldine now, kind of starting out in her career? Well, no, you're very established, but you're younger. I would love to know if there's like one big piece of wisdom that you would like to give her.
I don't think she needs any of my wisdom. I think she's doing fine without it, frankly. She's very she's on track and very centered and confident, appropriately confident. I think she doesn't need any help from me.
Okay.
Oh, that's fair enough. I'm sure you have a
generous.
lot of wisdom, though. Is there like one specific piece that you have kind of gathered from doing the podcast that has really stuck with you?
Yeah, I would say that one piece of advice that sort of keeps coming up is, actually it relates to this film. It's about connection and community, and it's a real it's a key to longevity. Is making sure that you stay involved with other people in any way that suits you, but stay involved with other people.
For sure. Something that I noticed about your characters is that they definitely struggle with work-life balance, like for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
They never switch off.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious to know, for you guys, like working on a big film like this, is it hard also to switch off when you finish a day's work?
It can be,
Yeah.
yes. It can be very difficult. Because it requires, well, frankly, even doing something like this, a press junket, but when you're really working on a film or TV show or whatever, it requires a kind of focus. You sort of have to shut a lot of other things out to really stay focused on the job at hand. And then when you're done, to kind of completely shift gears can sometimes be tricky.
Yeah. No, that's so true. I end up, when I'm on set, I end up watching a lot of reality television.
Nice.
You know-
What's your go-to?
I love Love Island.
The UK or
Yeah, all of it. UK. When we were filming this, I was doing a lot of that.
Yeah. I mean, that's a different world completely.
Yes.
To like world ending. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Over
No,
here.
they're all good in there. They're having fun.
Yeah.
They're just drinking. Yeah, I think it's helpful you need to find out how you can like kind of switch your brain off a bit.
Yeah, and I guess this was your first like Marvel experience. Was there anything that was kind of like surprising about how it all operates behind the scenes?
I mean, I think I knew that it was going to be so, just like
Enormous.
enormous. And nice. I think I mean, it's not surprising, but like everybody was so down to earth and hardworking and just like kind of head down, working so hard, all the stunt training that everyone had to do. I feel like I didn't know the extent to which it's like physically demanding. So watching the Thunderbolts go through all that was like really cool.
Pretty cool having a front row seat to that.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I have to wrap up now, but it was so lovely to meet both of you. I'm very excited for everyone to see this movie. I think they're going to love it. So
Thank you.
Thank
It
you
was
so
so
much.